Welcome to the Second Win Boxing Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond, and alongside,
It's your boy Caesar Fantastic. And yo, we got some good news today as per Mike Carpenter and other media insiders. Former heavyweight title holder Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius are in the process of finalizing a deal for PBC on Fox pay-per-view on August 15th at the Barclays Center. The last time we saw Wilder, he was taking that loss to Tyson Fury, which would be over a little over a year from the announced date, October 15th. That fight was on October 9th of 2021. Um, so yeah, what you thinking? He's Hellenius is a former sparring partner of his. You know what I mean?
okay.
So what you thinking about this fight?
Well, it seems more like you said when you was looking for him having a tune-up fight. That's what it sounds like. It's just a fight to get him back into the groove of things, as far as the his building his confidence levels back up after taking a two-fight defeat. You know what I'm saying, within the same against the same opponent. But I guess this is more just getting him back into the groove of things and basically trying to make sure that when he makes this comeback, he'll have confidence and he'll be able to continue on fighting. So this was smarter the handlers of his, whoever who I think is PBC Al Heyman who's handling it, who is his manager. So they more concerned about just building his confidence back up and making sure that he's prepared to be able to compete on the elite level. Man, I'm looking forward to him and Anthony Joshua. And when I base fights upon, I don't base them just on a worthy opponent. I base it upon two fighters being able to put some good money in their pockets. Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, will be the fight that will secure the bag for their generations. So that's why I'm always advocating that fight, because I think it's still a big fight. I don't think Anthony Joshua I don't think Anthony Joshua is that great of a fighter. But I know Anthony Joshua was making lots of millions of dollars fighting nobody. So I can imagine what he'll make fighting someone as a former world champion like Deontay Wilder. So I would want to see that. So that's why I look forward to that matchup opposed to any other matchup. But the tune-up is definitely necessary. You know, I sat on that for a day or two, Sean, and thought about it. The tune-up is necessary after you have a two-fight delay and took two L's and been off for a year. You got to see where you at, man. You got to work on your kinks. And sometimes these fights will help him get his timing back, get his stamina back and everything else. Just getting back into the groove of things. So, we for a second there we thought it was over for Dante. So just to see him make a comeback, man, I'm very impressed, proud, happy to see him back. Hope he fixed some of those things that need to be fixed, especially with the fundamentals, if he can, because that was a big deal for him and what caused him to lose to a guy like like Fury, who definitely, had a lot of boxing experience, plus was a very big guy who kind of put his weight and his wheel on Dante. So yeah, man, what you feel on it, Sean?
Like I said, I was in for him having a tune up, you know what I mean? And honestly, this is a dangerous tune up, you know what I mean? Like Hellenius, like I said, he's a former sparring partner, so he knows him. You know what I'm saying? Just like Wilder knows him, of course. But Hellenius he was a sparring partner to try to mimic Fury. You know what I mean? Granted, he's not as tall or as big as Fury. I think Deontay has him by like a half inch in height, and he has the reach advantage or whatever. So it's like Deontay has an 83-inch reach, and Hellenius has like a 79-inch reach, right? So it's not the reach advantage. He's not Fury size wise, but he did try to mimic that in sparring. So he's a big guy. He's skilled. He beat Kovnacki twice. He did lose to Washington, and he lost to Gerald Washington. He lost to Dillian White. So he's not Wilder. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not a top five heavyweight, but he's probably somewhere in the top 10. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's a good tune-up fight, and it's a good challenging tune-up fight. It's not nothing that I'm worried that Wilder might lose, but you know, I'm here for it. Basically, in a nutshell,
Yeah,
I'm here for
yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see Wilder in the ring, I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm ready to drop some money, take my money, and
Yeah,
yeah, sign me up, man. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Now, as far as Joshua, he's the he's the biggest run I've seen.
yeah,
Talking about what you call talking about Jake Paul. Nah, he's a runner. He's a track star. You hear me?
yeah.
Like he ain't fighting nobody. He don't want
Yeah,
to fight. He don't want to fight Wilder. He don't want to fight Fury. He don't want to fight. He probably wouldn't even fight Hellenius. Really, honestly,
yeah,
he's. I don't think he's going to take none of those fights. He's going to keep doing what he's doing because they love him over there overseas. He don't need to fight nobody to get money.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So why risk it for the biscuit if the biscuit's already there? You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I see it with him. And it's like if I was Wilder, I wouldn't chase him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't
exactly.
chase him. Like I'm like, man, whatever. Do what you do, bro. I mean, he been chasing him and they ain't got him nowhere yet. So I don't think Joshua is rushing to see Wilder. So easy enough to really try it. So but yeah, that's about where I'm at. You know what I mean? About where I'm at with it. I'm geeked to see it. I'm glad to see his return. And yeah, what's going on, Lou? But yeah, I'm glad to see the return, man. That's
Yeah,
it.
I agree with you, Sean. I just think he definitely need that tune up to get back into things, and timing is very important, especially for a guy like him that really not a pure boxer. He's definitely depends on his power, and I've been very critical of Dante in the past on social media and about his boxing abilities. But I did like his knockout and his timing. That's one thing I did like about him, that he had timing. And for his lack of skill, he had that power. So who has? It's not many people that has a knockout ratio that is great as Dante Wilder in the heavyweight division in history almost. So
In
you
boxing.
gotta give it to him on that level that the boy can crack, man. Point blank, that right hand hit you, you're going down.
Yeah.
And um Tyson Fury is a special case of a fighter.
Yeah.
He's a very special case, man. He has great boxing abilities. He's a big guy. And so, somebody that big to be able to move around the ring and such, man, you got to respect it, man, and give him his credit for who he is and how he does it. That
Yeah,
comes from,
that's a. All right, go ahead.
yeah, I was saying that comes from being a younger boxer growing up the ranks, knowing how to, it's like instinct, you know what I'm saying? So, to lose to Tyson Fury is not really discredits him completely, puts him out the game. At first, I said it was over for him, but that's just because how vicious that uh, um, Tyson Fury defeated him twice.
Mm-hmm.
It was vicious. It was a vicious defeat, man. Um,
Yeah, but that's what killed me, man. You get guys who take a loss. He only lost to Fury. He only had a draw with Fury.
yeah, yeah,
And the only blemishes on his record. But then you know what I'm saying. Some of the greatest in the game, in the history of the game, they had arch nemesis or people who had their number. Look at Terry Norris with Sugar Ray. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
Who was it that Julian Jackson had their number? What, was it Shane?
Julian Jackson had his lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh, who had Shane number? I think it was it Jackson.
Julian Jackson lost to Gerald McCullough by knockout. The knockout artist just like him. He was just equivalent in knockouts as he was. Gerald McCullough was a beast, man.
Yeah, so everybody got their guy, man. I think Shane would have been that for Floyd if
and Shane used to lose to Vernon Forrest.
Forrest, that's who it was. It was Vernon Forrest, yeah.
But give him hell.
I think Shane could have got Floyd if he was younger, because the way Shane got him, and when he was older. The only reason he lost that fight to me is he gassed out. That's just my opinion. But, Shane's like number 1 or 2, depending on which day you talk about with me.
Yeah, definitely. Shane was bad boy, but Gerald, not Gerald McCullough. I'm thinking of the for Julian Jackson, but for Sugar Shane, he couldn't handle that right hand of Vernon Forrest, who rest in power to Vernon Forrest. I remember him when I was back in the days when we go down to Georgia and see him all the time as a young fighter back then. Much respect for him, man. He was a good dude too, man.
Yeah. To say that just to say, like, man, most of the greats, everybody, everybody can't be Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna go out on top. You know what I'm saying? So with no losses, so. People give people who, you run across somebody who got your number.
Man. The
way Wilder ran through that heavyweight division before that, man, bomb squad.
Because he knocked out everybody else, man. And he beat some very well-respected fighters out there, man. And Lou, Vernon Forrest had his number, man. Yeah, Floyd, Emmanuel Augustus was a problem for him too. Yeah, he was. He was an awkward fighter, man. Very awkward. Man. So they do have a number. It's guys out there that got your number. I had a guy that was from St. Louis, man. Jackie Redden, man. I used to have some issues with Slim, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. I lost to him 2 times, man, in the Nationals, man. And we did in the box off. I lost to him too, man. I could not get past this Joker, man, for something. For some reason, man. He could go, man. It is what it is. Everybody got somebody for in the sport.
Hey, true. But Mike Tyson couldn't get past. It was his problem. Was a jab.
Yeah, Holyfield was a problem for him big time, man. Yeah.
It's crazy, but yeah.
That's right, Lou. That's right, man. You're right, brother. You're exactly right, man.
Styles make fights.
Styles make fights, man.
You gotta get in that ring and show and prove.
It's all about readjusting.
Low key, as much as we say Fury had Wilder number, man, I don't know what got him up from that knockdown to that Undertaker joint.
That was supposed to have been done, man. That was supposed to have been done deal, man.
Ain't nothing supposed to get that man up from that one, man.
Yeah, once you got him from that, you already know, man. That man came to claim the throne,
he came to fight. He was laid out like Roy. Remember when Roy went out? Boy.
Speaking of that, Roy number what's my guy name from Florida too? Tarver
had Roy number. Yep, Tarver had his number. It's always somebody for you, man. You just gotta luck up any day.
Facts.
You gotta always you just gotta luck up and hope you don't run across that man. I hope you can duck him somehow.
You just gotta be ready for him. Gotta figure it out some way, somehow. That's all I can state for some of these fighters.
That ill when it come, man. I'm glad Wilder just took it on the chin, said, you know what? Hey, it is what it is.
Well, that's the question I want to ask everybody out there. Back. How do they feel? Who would be a bigger fight other than I don't want to see him fight Who would be a bigger fight for him versus Iran Barkley definitely had Tommy Hearn
Hey,
numbers,
low
man. I
key, that
remember
was
that.
my Barkley was my
Yeah,
guy
Barkley was
too.
a bad
Like,
boy, man. Yeah,
so,
I remember that because I was we was at Hillcrest and it was what's the guy named won the gold medal from here man, I'm having a brain freeze. It'll come to me. But he was training for for Hearns and all of them. And Iran Barkley name kept coming up, man. He didn't want no parts of that, man.
ain't want none of that,
Not Ray
huh?
Leonard. It was what's my guy name from he from Palmer Park area too. Damn. Andrew Maynard. There it is. Andrew
That's his
Maynard.
uncle.
That's your uncle.
That's his
Okay,
uncle.
brother. Yeah. Andrew Maynard. Yes. Dave Jacobs over at our gym, and Andrew Maynard was training over there. And he kept talking about Iran Barkley the whole time we was there, man, back then. I remember that. That was like
It's like,
92,
nah, I'm
man.
good on that one.
Yeah, 92.
Yeah.
But Andrew Maynard could go, man. He was a bad in the amateurs. He was not to be played with. 88 gold medalists, man. Salute, man. 88.
Yeah. So yeah, so
Yes,
what you
indeed.
think about the venue, like Brooklyn?
Oh, that's perfect for Dante, man. Brooklyn would be perfect setting, man. That's the place to go to recuperate from. Get out of Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Build yourself up right there. I think that's the perfect place for him to go to and build his record up, man, right there. People love those type of knockouts at that place, man, in Brooklyn, New York. So
Yeah. So,
now, this is the question I did have, Sean, was who do you want to see him fight? I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. Who do you want to see him fight in the future? Who everybody out there? Who do you want to see Deontay Wilder fight in the future?
I want him to fight Rivas for that Bridgerweight belt, and then
You keep talking about that Bridgerweight.
hey, I
ain't
want
sold
that
on that yet,
Bridgerweight,
man.
huh? You say you ain't sold on it?
I'm not sold on it yet, man. I'm
I
not sold
mean,
on that division yet.
it's still a heavyweight division. It's
It's
just a
still
simple
hard to sell.
division.
It's still hard. It's still hard to sell cruiserweight.
Yeah, but cruiserweight under
I'm
heavyweight.
just saying it's
Bridgerweight
still hard to.
is a heavyweight
That's
division,
what
so
I'm
you can
saying.
fight
Like,
them both.
why would they put another belt? You can't even. Why they put another weight class like that? You can't even sell
Because
cruiserweight
it's
or light heavyweight.
to keep the smaller dudes who like 120. If you want a chance to get a belt, like you could get a chance to get a belt at Bridgerweight at 120 under 125. Like
Yeah.
Bama's, man, all these heavyweights now coming up 280, 290. Man, these smaller dudes ain't really got too much of a chance unless you Wilder.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Like I'm reading the post now. Somebody was saying heavy. I remember I said that on the last segment. How the
Yeah,
amateurs
heavyweight
had
and
light
super
heavyweight,
heavyweight.
super
Yeah.
heavyweight. Yeah.
So
That
now
was
basically Bridgerweight is basically heavyweights and super heavyweights is super heavyweights, but the heavyweights can still fight the super heavyweights if they want.
if they want. That's a choice that you're saying they
If you
should be able to
want,
make.
yeah.
If you
So
want to
if
take
you
that choice.
220 and you want to
Yeah.
fight somebody, if you want to fight for the heavyweight championship against somebody who ridiculously big, then go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go for it. But we do
But
have a joint for you. Right here.
don't get me
I'm
wrong
for it, man.
don't get me wrong. Some of the guys in the past, like you had Chris Bird and Michael Moore, Vander Holyfield, there's some others out there that was very great, skillful fighters who may have made something special with that weight class back then, man.
Yeah.
And he's someone saying back in the days you never had it. You didn't. You couldn't find a 300-pound
You couldn't
heavyweight or
find the big guys.
240.
That's why all the good guys, like everybody was 220, 230 at the most, 230s, like 230s, maybe a couple 240s, but nah, most of the guys like Ali was smaller, like all them guys.
Yeah.
They wasn't too now that's what I'm saying. Now you just come on now. That man was 300, 400 pounds. trying. Yeah, I'm not hitting. I'm not going in the ring with you.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I agree, brother. I totally agree, man. That's kind of like out of whack to go fight somebody that big. But Ali was that, man. When he 187, he was a small guy, man. Yeah. So I understand. That's why it's hard to sell it, because the most you'll get, like you say, you'll get a guy back then be about 250, and that's huge back then to most fighters back then.
Them giants, those were giants back then.
How much George Foreman weighed back then? I'm talking about
George wasn't that big.
I'm talking about the mean George Foreman, not the smiley, real George Foreman. I'm talking about the mean George Foreman, man. How much did he weigh back then, man?
If you can find that real quick.
Yeah, because
most of them guys wasn't that big. Like, it's crazy. I'd Kirk out if I was. I don't even got that by my.
Yeah, got to wait. Let me see. I think George Foreman was about what, 240, 230, 240.
Probably. Let me see. Shit, that Bama was 220.
God dang.
220, 225. That's why I say he was small, man. 220, 225.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Back then, heavyweights was 188. 196.
Wow. 228. Damn.
So he was 217. He was 217 and a half. Joe Frazier was 214.
And just think that was big, man. Because George was considered like a giant to everybody else at 228. And these guys made 270. God,
82. Remember how big he was on the comeback, right? Remember how big he was on the comeback?
I think they should just make them jokers super heavyweights, man. And that, what I'm saying, those anything past 225, 230.
Yeah.
240, make them super heavyweights, and then make the other ones heavyweights, and then I'm trying to get sold on this bridge. The only ones doing that is the WBC, correct?
Yeah, it's only a WBC joint, but I'm hoping the other joints come together. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping the other sanctioning bodies come together, and that's why I said I want Wilder to front line it.
Is he?
Because I want the other.
Right? Is he?
No, he's not.
Right
He's not going to do it. Nah, he fighting heavy.
Heavyweight, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how being a heavyweight champion of the world, you're gonna go down a weight class to
it's
a lower
not going
weight
down.
class.
It's still. It's just another. It's just another belt. He can
Yeah,
carry
I'm
both.
just
He can hold both.
Okay.
Yeah, he can hold both.
That's different. That's different there, man.
And in all honesty, that division was made for him. That's why he sort of declined it in the beginning.
Okay, because he thought it was like
he was like if it was made for me, I don't want that. Like I don't want.
Right, he felt as though it was like a handicap or something.
Yeah, I don't want nothing else specifically made for me. I want to go for
I know how fighters. I know how fighters think, man. We're not going to accept nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's going to make it be easier, and they use it against us in the future. Like, come on, man. You know what? You gonna give me something because I lost 2 fights? You gonna give me another weight class? I don't want it. So
nah. But see, if I was like I said the other day, man, if I was WBC, I'm throwing so much money at him to.
If you throw the money out, money tells a different story. That's the
front line. Front line is joint. Man. That's why he came back.
How much did Ken Norton weigh back then? Ken Norton wasn't that big though. He was solid muscle, but he wasn't that big though. George was probably the biggest of that group.
Ken Norton, when he fought George Foreman in '74, George weighed 224 and Ken Norton weighed 212.
God damn. and how much did it was one other guy that was kind of how much did Larry Holmes weigh? Larry Holmes wasn't that big. He was solid. He was skinny back then. Larry Holmes could have been about what, 230 at the most.
I don't have to search him out. Let's see. Back in the day or
back? I'm not talking Mike Tyson time frame. I'm talking about when he fought before Ali, back in the 70s, when he was just Ali's sparring partner.
Eastern Assassin.
Think he was probably what 217 too.
When he fought Ernie Shavers.
Nah, Ernie Shavers. Yeah, Ernie Shavers was some solid.
210. He was 210. Ernie was 211.
So yeah, brothers, like he was saying, brothers and sisters, whoever's out there listening, we were just discussing about how the heavyweight has drastically changed in terms of size, ridiculous. And we was, it is ridiculous. I thought George Foreman was a giant, man, when I was coming up. So, yeah. And George Foreman's highest weight was what they were saying at that time when he was the mean George Foreman was 228, right? Correct. And these average guys now, what is Tyson Fury weigh what now?
Like 170 something or something.
270, 280. He probably weigh 290 something right now, almost 300 pounds walking. I mean, I'm talking about in shape. He was what when he came in to fight?
He came to fight Wilder. He came to fight Wilder at 277.
277. There's no fighter in heavyweight history that's a world champion at 270 anything. The average weight that we just named out of all of these fighters. Now, what about Big Bo? How much Bo weighed? I'm talking, for Holyfield.
Oh, damn it. Come on, Mo. Riddick Bowe for Holyfield. He was 240.
240. That was big. That was the biggest, though. That was the biggest. That was bigger than anything.
But that was the beginning of out of shape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when he started, he was 220, 225. Yeah. But Bowen gradually got bigger. So he was 246 with Holyfield and 240 with Holyfield.
But you got to remember this too, Sean. Bo and Lennox Lewis, when they fought in the Olympics, were super heavyweights.
Yeah.
Someone saying Sonny Liston was 230. That's the biggest so far of that era that we heard. Sonny Liston was 230, but you got to remember Bo and Lennox Lewis was super heavyweight, so that's different. I'm sure Tyson Fury was a super heavyweight as well in the amateurs. So,
ultra heavyweight.
Someone out there, I'm trying to think of somebody else out there that was a heavyweight, man. That was big.
That was big. I don't know, man. Most of them dudes was small. Like,
yeah.
Let me see. Well, Lennox was big, but Lennox
was slim. He sleek. What you think? Lennox probably was what? But Lennox tall, man. He was a tall guy. What about the Klitschko brothers? What they weigh? They skinny. Because they were tall. They tall, though. That tallness kind of, evens out, makes some of that weight. Larry Holmes was 245. Was that when he was older?
Yeah, Lennox was 240.
Okay, was Larry Holmes 245 when he was older? Or that's when he was... Would you say Larry weighed when he was sparring with Ali?
Shit, I don't remember. Hold up, I gotta go back. Fine, I gotta search it again. Yeah, Lennox was in the 240. So
okay, yeah, he was because super heavyweight as well. So coming up the amateur ranks and they fought in the Olympics, he was a super heavy. So of course I know between him and Bo him and Tyson Fury, they were super. Was Larry Holmes a super heavyweight?
I said Larry was 210.
210
against Ernie Shavers, yeah.
Okay, 210.
In the 70s. In the 70s, there was
in the 70s. So that he was
started at 202,
202. Good God, yeah. What about when he fought? Later in his career,
he got up to 255, like at the end, like that very end of his career. Yeah.
And someone just posted 240 for him, so I'm sure that was when he was older.
240, yeah. He started hitting 240 around like in the 90s.
But you can see the culture change too, man, with the food and the diet and everything changed with boxing. Where people just start, plus they start making more money too and got bigger and bigger. So man, the average guys, yeah, you say Michael Moore was 193. Yeah. Michael Moore definitely, if Bridget Weight was existing, Michael Moore and Chris Bird and all them guys would have been great at that weight class. That weight class should have happened for them a couple of years ago because they were some small heavyweights, man. It was some small heavyweights.
Long time ago, man. Yeah, I gotta say, man, if it's anybody out there right now who could champion that division and make it, you know what I'm saying, make it relevant, man, he the dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, Joe.
So what's next on the plate, man?
We got super big ultra heavyweight Tyson Fury announced saying that he's returning to the ring. Said he wants to have his second trilogy against Derek Chisora, somebody he's beaten twice already. And so he said he wants to have another trilogy against Chisora, and he's coming out of retirement. That's his words. His words are, I've decided to come back to boxing because I can be the first heavyweight champion to have two trilogies, one with Deontay Wilder and the second one with Derek Chisora. I always said I'd fight Chisora at the end of my career, and here we are, breaking all records again and setting precedents. So where are we at with this fight?
Man, like someone just stated, I'm looking at a post now. We'll highlight it. I agree with that. I don't see how they can beat him. I don't see how they can beat Tyson Fury, man. He's too big. Yep, he has too many. He has one of the greatest boxing IQs I've seen in this day and time as a fighter with the feints, the jab, the footwork is amazing. I ain't never seen no big guy, that guy move like that. Now, and I seen guys dance around like Ali and them, they danced around, and Larry Holmes and them, they danced around. But far as the feints, and he brings something new he bring a package in one fighter, and he's a big guy. You know, it's like a big lineman being able to feint and jab and all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Riddick Bowe was a decent fighter. I agree. Riddick Bowe was a bad boy, man. I trained with Riddick Bowe a few times up the gym, and Riddick Bowe's, he can go, man. He had the whole gym when he came up Hillcrest one time with Dave Jacobs, and literally all the bags, because Hillcrest had like sets of bags on each side back to old Hill. I'm talking about the Bond Hillcrest, and Riddick Bowe had a whole damn racket, just boom boom when he hit in the bag, man. He was a beast, man. He was a beast, man.
Wish you could have got that one fight. I wish you could have got in, boy.
Man, that's one of the. I just hope that that don't happen to Spence and Crawford being regretting they never fought each other. Mm-hmm. But Tyson Fury, man, I think only thing left for him, in my opinion, is undisputed. The winner, Usyk and AJ.
Now that was Bob's comeback.
That's what he said. That's what Bob said.
Bob came back, said, "Man, Fury just playing with the media, man. He's not gonna do that. We want the winner of Fury, Joshua Usyk or whatever." Okay. But like I said, Joshua's not fighting nobody. Because he could fight me and make millions of dollars. So why would he fight Fury to make millions of dollars?
Yeah, but
I knocked Joshua out too. I ain't even gonna hold you. I knocked Joshua out. Give me a full Adrian Broner training camp. I'm knocking Joshua out. I'm telling you.
The real boxing fans all call him bodybuilder and all that. They always say
that's all he is, man.
The bodybuilder. I want to see. I don't want to see Fury fight none of that. I don't really want to see Fury fight anymore, man. I think he is nobody. he a little bit too advanced for most of the fights, man, that he'll have, man. You got to catch him slipping, and it's hard catch somebody like him slipping with those skills. But yeah, man. So his
big, fast, and hand speed, foot speed. Like he
Yeah,
got all the tools, man.
Yeah.
Got all the tools.
Yeah. Now we can take this back 10, 20 years. I can see some people giving him a run for his money, you know. But now none of these young guys, especially in the heavyweight division, ain't no challenges for him in the boxing no more, man. I think it was when he said he was retired, I understood. You know, I was like, what is left for him? Man, these guys are no good, and it ain't even worth it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to even be a challenge for him in the heavyweight division today.
What you think about Lennox? What you think about Lennox and him?
If that was to happen back then, Lennox would kill him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm not saying that just because I'm think the old school. Lennox wasn't.
Nah, you just try to get back from yesterday when you was talking trash about
Nah, Lennox Lewis a kid would beat him. Lennox Lewis would figure him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lennox jab was Lennox the one that could jab with him.
Yeah.
Lennox one that could jab with him, and that jab when that jab stick you, boom, boom.
Yeah,
drop that two over top. It'd have been woo-wee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the difference between Lennox Lewis 1-2 and Deontay Wilder's 1-2 is pure timing. It's gonna be totally different. He gonna set it up.
Yeah, he set it up.
You see what I'm saying? He gonna set it up.
Dante just gonna hope to catch.
He gonna find it. Yeah, but
catch you.
But Lennox Lewis would have set that 1-2 up, man, and would have been able to drop Tyson Fury multiple times if that was to happen. If that fight was to happen, that's the difference. Lennox Lewis has amazing timing. And he just when it was time to kill, he went for the kill. You know what I'm saying? And I think personally that's why Riddick Bowe ran from him. Riddick Bowe didn't want that work, in my opinion.
That was a challenge. He already knew. He like, man, I done fought him before. I'm good.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I should have asked Bowe what was the issue between him and why he didn't want to fight Lennox Lewis. That's a question that I should have asked him years ago, man.
He probably would have been. He probably kirked out, but I'm glad you didn't.
I fought his nephew twice, man. So.
I'd have really been mad then.
Yeah, he was bigger than me. Back then you couldn't get no fights, man. If you was, you had over 100 fights or something, you could. So this guy was like 5 years older than me. Had me by 20, 30 pounds, and I still, punished him. But
yeah,
it's all good, man. It's all good.
So another thing came out of the whole announcement is Sugar Hill's no longer with Fury.
Tyson.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good move.
He dropped him for Isaac Lowe, who he says has been with him through all of his trainers. He's always been in his camp. Somebody who he feels who knows him, and who he wants, to be his trainer. Guess you say you don't think that's a good deal.
I'll say this.
I agree, because Sugar Hill is like one of the best trainers in boxing right now. So, and he got you over that mountaintop and through it all, and to drop him now, it's like, in the world. But Sugar Hill said that he was like, good luck with that, basically under the post. So, what you thinking?
Now, because of he was perfect for the Deontay Wilder fight. So you got to look at that too. It's a time. I think one thing I like about a good fighter is they know when so trainers could be used for certain purposes. Deontay Wilder was a perfect situation for him to pick him for that fight. You understand what I'm saying? As a trainer. So I don't think it was, I don't think he really need him for certain styles. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, that fight was needed. That fight between Deontay Wilder was necessary and it was needed. But far as for anything down the road, you know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Or who knows what the situation is between them two. How many fights he used him for?
I guess
Three. Most of the Wilder fights, right?
The 2 Wilder fights and the De Leon White fight.
Yeah, they was, see, all that was getting the two. He was specifically brought in there for the Wilder fights. He loved the chemistry and he tried to continue on, man. So
he got De Leon out of there in 6.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I just think it's, I mean, you know, whatever, to each his own. You know, it's just changing again this late with somebody who, I mean, I don't know the guy's track record. I guess he doesn't have much head trainer experience, as he said he's been in camp with him through all of his trainers. I guess he's always been an assistant, right?
Right.
So, I mean, maybe it's somebody he sees something in and he thinks, you know, he deserves a shot to be a head trainer or whatever. But hey, if he, I mean, I could probably train him for Chisora. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he probably thinking like, this ain't a big fight. I don't really need no, but I could get this guy a chance. This is Chisora. But
remember what you said, that Bob Earl said the fight really not happening. So, you know, he probably.
Yeah, but if he going in there against somebody else like Joshua or Usyk, well, against Usyk, he probably beat Usyk too. Usyk's small. Usyk looking bigger though. Like he looking bigger, but he don't have the height, you know.
Yeah, Usyk, he still do good with. I mean, Usyk, I think he should use him for Usyk though. We'll need that boxing for him. Yeah, Sugar Hill. We gonna need him for him.
That's what I say. But yeah, Usyk,
like I say, he may like be
nice amateur record too.
Excuse me, he may pick him based upon power, skill. So he probably like, you know, I can use him for this one, or I can use him for that, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, after you cut the bridge like that and don't really give, I guess he didn't give him a heads up because.
Oh yeah.
Sugar Hill posted it under the announcement. You know, he responded
was he upset?
Under the announcement. He said, "Good luck with that." You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So I don't know if you go back to that well now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you on that one.
That's interesting. You know, but like I feel like him. Good luck with that, bro.
Yeah. See, he's a great trainer, man. I like his. I like
trainer,
the way he got a lot from his father, man.
He good with it.
He good with it, man. What's next on the plate?
Hey, man, that's all we got, man. You know.
Okay, hey, we knocked it out the ballpark again, man.
You know, yeah. Want y'all to comment in the comment section, though. You know, tell us what y'all think about the topics that we went over.
Yeah.
You know, comment down below the video, subscribe to the page, and
we trying to we want to be the ones that break that story on the Spence versus Crawford. Hopefully Sean be he be on his stuff, man, getting it done. I think we can do it, man. I think we be the one that break that.
Hey, man, I hope so. Gonna get on the dark web and find some secrets.
That's probably the only place where it's at right now, man.
Hey, deep in the dark web, man, on the ether.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like and subscribe button. Share our page, please. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, please share the page. Help us get the numbers up and get the subscription up as well. So like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell us who, you know what I'm saying, when did the change happen between the bigger heavyweights because I didn't realize that some of these guys I thought were giants were compared to these big 280-pound giants of today. Most of the guys I thought was big wasn't that big. George Foreman, I think he weighed about 220. I think he was down to 212. No, that was Larry Holmes. But 220, Michael Moore 193.
George could have been a bridgerweight.
Yeah, so I didn't realize those guys in the 70s was that, in the 70s, 60s were that small. The biggest one of them all was I see a 245 with Larry Holmes, but Larry Holmes probably was 40 years old, probably same age.
That was in the 90s, yeah.
Man, so he was 40 years old when he hit that 240 mark.
And
so
that 240 was huge in the 90s.
Right. So yeah, the heavyweight division definitely went up, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with Deontay Wilder would have been an average heavyweight weight wise, compared to and if Fury was around, he wouldn't even existed in the heavyweight division at that weight. That was probably wasn't a human on the planet weighing 300 pounds. 280
boxing like, and can move like back then. You weighed 300. You was an offensive lineman, and
exactly.
Honestly, the offensive lineman back then was about 270,
probably 250, probably.
Yeah, 250, 260, like back then.
Exactly.
Back then, man, you was bedridden if you was 300.
Exactly. That's facts, man. So please hit the like and subscribe button, share our page, help us get out there, man, and get recognized. And we got some great content coming down the ropes, man. Just hang in there with us as we grow. That's our time, ladies and gentlemen. The second win, Boxing Media. Peace.